नमस्कार फ्रेंड, एक बार आप सभी का स्वागत है। फ्रेंड्स, कल जो IBA ने एफिडेविट सुप्रीम कोर्ट में सबमिट किया उसके बारे में फेसबुक से कॉपीड फ्रॉम द वॉल ऑफ श्री विजय राघवन राममूर्ति रिटायर्ड ऑफिसर IOB ने अपने जो कमेंट एफिडेविट के पॉइंट वाइज दिया है वो बहुत ही तथ्यात्मक और लॉजिकल है। माई व्यूज ऑन एफिडेविट डेटेड 24th August 22 submitted to the Supreme Court by the senior advisor IBA on pension updation of the bank retirees. The crux of the issue is that Supreme Court, vide its order dated 20th January 22, directed IBA to report on the decision taken on pension updation request, duly calling for the committee's report, which is constituted for that purpose. The gist of the IBA's submission to the court and my views on that are given below. In para 3.3, it is stated that the terms and conditions of officers are statutory in nature and primarily based on the negotiated agreement between the parties, which are subsequently approved by the respective boards. My views. Pension is introduced in bank as a second benefit based on bipartite settlement and joint note dated 29th October 1993. This is the base for framing statutory regulations by the banks as Pension Regulation 1995. Thanks to IBA in admitting that it is a statutory obligation to honor the commitments given in bipartite settlement and the pension regulation. Number 2, in para 3.54, it is stated that the pension fund is maintained at the funded by the respective banks based on actuarial calculations from their own revenue. No contribution is made from the government. My views, true. Third, in para 3.7, it is stated that there is no provision in pension regulation 1995 for any updation in the pension of the bank employees and officers. My views. In Pension Regulation 1995, para 35, Appendix 1, formula for updating pension is given. This is the main bone of contention between the parties. Pensioners have got a valid argument that in every settlement among the wage revision, pension revision should also happen, which is practiced in state and central government pay revision. Fourth, para 3.7 states that there is no parity between government employees and the bank employees, quoting revenue expenditure and budgetary allocation. My view, IBA stand on this is very weak, as para 56 of the Pension Regulation 1995 clearly states as follows: in case of doubt in the matter of application of these regulations, regard may be had to the corresponding provisions of Central Civil Service Rule 1972 or Central Civil Services Commutation and the Pension Rules 1981 applicable for central government employees. Moreover, recently family pension revision has been done based on the central government pension regulation only. Para 3.7 states that it would be neither appropriate in principle nor would be financially viable for the banks to accept the request for pension updation act for the central government employees. My view, if IBA felt that it is not appropriate in principle to consider pension updation, it has to spell out on what principle family pension revision has been granted. Pension updation and the periodical pension revision is a right of the pensioners and it has to be considered under the principle of equal justice to the pensioners retired under various bipartite settlement periods. 6. IBA contention that it is not financially viable is a mere one-word statement, not backed by any calculation or detailed analysis. It is expected that along with the affidavit, IBA to submit detailed working sheet with actual calculation about the cost factor involved in the pension updation. Without this basic exercise, the request for pension updation cannot be brushed aside with the one word that is not financially viable. कर्सी विजयराघवन आर रिटायर्ड बैंक ऑफिसर IOB। फ्रेंड्स, जितने भी पॉइंट्स राघवन साहब ने टेकअप किए हैं दैट इज वेरी लॉजिकल, और ये पॉसिबल है कि जो हमने एक हफ्ते का एडजॉर्नमेंट लिया है, हो सकता है कि हमारे जो लीगल एडवाइजर हैं, जो काउंसिल हैं, वो सारे पॉइंट्स को कवर करते हुए अपना आर्गुमेंट नेक्स्ट डेट ऑफ हियरिंग पे, जो अभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट के साइट पे शो नहीं हो रहा है, वो भरपूर देने का प्रयास करेंगे। हमें निराश होने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, क्योंकि हम वर्षों से फाइट कर रहे हैं, फिर करेंगे और जीत हमारी होगी। थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स, नमस्कार।